Welcome to Module 4, Skin Nutrition. We hope this module inspires us all to make dietary decisions that help our skin glow. It is not within the scope of an esthetician to make recommendations of vitamins and mineral supplements. It may be necessary to refer your client to a nutritionist if you suspect that their skin could benefit from better nutrition. Even though a healthy diet does not ensure you will have healthy skin, remember you are what you eat. Expecting beautiful skin with bad nutrition long term is like expecting your car to run well when you never get it maintenanced. Vitamins and minerals are necessary for our body to function properly. Our bodies don't produce vitamins and minerals on their own. We must get these nutrients from food. Vitamins A, C, D, and E have been shown to have positive effects on the skin. Let's discuss these a little more. Vitamin A is important for the proper maintenance of epithelial tissue, which makes up the surface of the lungs, intestines, mucous membranes, the bladder, and of course the skin. It's available in foods like eggs, cantaloupe, bell peppers, and sweet potatoes. Vitamin A is often found in skincare products and is also known as retinol. Vitamin C is also an antioxidant. It helps prevent free radical damage in the skin and body. Vitamin C is important in fighting the aging process and promotes collagen production in the dermal tissues. When applied topically to the skin, it could potentially increase collagen production and lighten skin. Vitamin C is available in citrus fruits, tomatoes, and leafy greens. Vitamin D. The main function of vitamin D is to help the body absorb calcium, the element needed for proper bone development. Foods high in vitamin D include salmon, mushrooms, and eggs. Milk and orange juice are usually fortified with vitamin D. Vitamin D is sometimes in skincare products like serum and moisturizers, and it is known to be soothing to the skin. Vitamin E is primarily an antioxidant. It helps to stop free radical damage to the cell membranes. Vitamin E can help to heal damage to tissues internally and externally. Vitamin E may help treat structural damage to the skin from burns or stretch marks. Vitamin E is found in leafy green vegetables, avocados, and safflower oil. Let's now take a look at our interview with our expert nutritionist, Shelby Greenville. I want to welcome Shelby Greenville. She's a registered dietitian and she's part of our expert panel. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's really special to have a dietitian with us because as estheticians, when we are in the treatment room with our client, it happens a lot that we're trying to help our client with their skin. We're trying to get their skin clearer or whatever it is, and we're wondering, is it nutrition that's the real problem with their skin? And so you may know this, but as an esthetician, we do have a little bit of training about nutrition in our esthetician school. But sometimes we might have questions about when to refer to a dietitian. So first off, tell us a little bit about you. What's your background?
Well, I'm a registered dietitian, so I have a bachelor's and a master's degree in human nutrition. My background is essentially split between inpatient, so working in a hospital, and then doing outpatient nutrition counseling. And so that's mostly what I do right now is outpatient nutrition education, kind of helping with whatever needs, whatever people are curious about, or if they have any nutrient deficiencies, any chronic diseases, or they're just like, the internet is confusing, what the heck do I actually need to eat? So that's what I help with.
All right. And I also wanted to ask you, what made you want to become a dietitian?
So I grew up, my mom is actually a registered dietitian, and I grew up with a very healthy relationship with food. And whenever I got to high school and definitely college, I realized that a lot of people did not grow up with that healthy, a healthy mindset around food and meals. So that's kind of what pushed me to be a dietitian as well.
It's so true that it's really rare that you have that setting at home when you're growing up. So unfortunately, but my next question is, what are some indicators that an individual might need to see a dietitian?
Definitely if you have any hair loss, or you notice your nails are breaking off really easily, any mood swings throughout the day, or if you just randomly in the afternoon feel like your blood sugar drops too low, and big changes in your energy levels throughout the day. I think those are big indicators that we can kind of look into and see if we can help with diet.
Okay. I have a question. We hear you are what you eat. Do you believe that?
To an extent. I mean, there are, of course, we're all a little different. We could all have the exact same diet and we all still look different. But I definitely think diet plays a huge role in just about every aspect of our life.
Okay. Next question from the skincare people. How much water should we drink? Because again, in the treatment room, a lot of times we're helping our clients achieve more hydrated skin. So we're putting products on them. So we're also telling them to drink more water. But how much more, or how much water should our clients drink? And then also, are all waters the same, or is there a particular water that we should gravitate to?
Yeah, so hydration is very important, especially in terms of skin health. In terms of exactly how much we should have each day, that depends on the person, but usually a good rule of thumb is about ½ an ounce per pound of body weight. So for most of us, that's at least around 2 liters or 8 ounces a day. There isn't a specific type of water that I recommend over another, just some good old quality H2O.
Okay. Well, I'm drinking spring water, so I guess that should be good.
Well, in terms of the alkaline waters or anything like that, that's all a marketing ploy. So.
Yeah, because I'm walking down the aisle and I'm seeing all these different types of water. So
yeah, if you like the taste of one better than the other, get that one. Okay. But in terms of different acidities or added vitamins and things, just water is water.
Okay. And I just did the math in my head. I should be drinking more than 64 ounces a day. So
depends. Yeah.
Next up, this is a burning question, right? We hear so much about gut health, and we hear a lot about the connection between gut health and skin, especially with acne. And so are you seeing in your clinic a big connection between gut health and the possibility of it affecting the skin, like in terms of acne, maybe psoriasis, eczema?
So typically gut health is quite the hot topic lately. When I see individuals with poor gut health, it usually is associated with a poor diet. Research has shown that diets high in excess sugar and empty calories, processed carbohydrates, kind of the junky foods, they do see a higher instance of acne, and it can increase inflammation as well in the skin, so it can aggravate things like eczema or psoriasis. And so definitely working on decreasing the amount of excess sugar and kind of focusing on more of a whole food diet can absolutely help improve some skin conditions.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've been hearing a lot about balancing blood sugars. And when you get those balanced out, acne can get better.
Definitely.
Another question about that. Okay, how long does it take if you're going to change your diet? When do you see the changes, the benefits? How long might it take for your skin to clear up?
Well, everyone's a little different. I would say give it at least a month or two of changes, just because it, takes some time for our body to really respond well on more of a longer timeline.
Okay, so I can't eat good for a week and then just look in the mirror and wonder why I still have a pimple. Okay.
No, it takes some time. Lifestyle changes take time.
Okay, got it. Next up, collagen supplements. We are hearing about those everywhere. Speaking of marketing, the companies, a lot of times they're making promises that the collagen can really de-age the skin. So is that possible? Is collagen supplements helping with maybe lines and wrinkles?
So while I don't think that collagen supplements are the eternal fountain of youth, there have been plenty of studies, mostly in rodents, but a few human studies that show promise in terms of collagen supplements helping to decrease damage from sun damage, and also helping to increase collagen synthesis.
Okay, well that's promising.
It's still early, so we can't say for sure exactly, and they're still working on the exact dosage, but there have been some promising studies.
Okay, well I'll take it. Okay, so in your opinion, what is the best foods for glowing skin?
Ooh, so as I've said before, diet affects pretty much every aspect of our lives, right? In terms of glowing skin and just overall healthy skin, the first thing I would say is to recommend that you eat enough protein every day.
Okay.
That level looks a little different for everyone, but that would be the very first thing, to make sure we're getting enough protein, because of course protein is the building blocks of collagen. So making sure that we're eating enough protein is number one.
Okay.
The second would be, you can also eat foods that are high in collagen, just through the diet as well, to kind of help and make sure we're getting enough protein and enough of the right proteins. So things like bone broth, meats, eggs, beef, chicken, fish, and then also omega-3 fatty acids as well play a very important role in skin hydration as well, and also just overall skin health and decreasing inflammation. So things like avocado, nuts, walnuts, salmon, those are always really great. Foods high in vitamin C, they're very high in antioxidants, and help to combat skin damage and damage from the sun. So think foods, your red orange foods and dark green foods.
Okay.
So things like bell pepper, oranges or citrus fruits, apples, dark green leafy veggies, and then also foods high in zinc and magnesium, so things like nuts and dark chocolate.
Ooh, okay, so these are some pretty yummy things. Yeah, we're getting together our grocery list for sure.
Yes, in terms of just overall health and skin health, recommend a nice, wonderful, colorful diet, and try and vary, and just try and vary your sources to make sure we're getting everything that we need.
Okay. So Shelby, you mentioned all these great foods that we're gonna load up on, but the reality is modern times, our modern diets, we at times are failing to get these nutrients in. So in terms of probiotics, supplements, what are things that you're commonly seeing that people might need to bring in their diet?
Well, so probiotics are found in lots of foods. So usually that's kind of where I recommend starting. Probiotics and prebiotics. So probiotics are the beneficial bacteria found in our gut. Those are found in things like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, anything fermented. Kombucha is a good option as well. And also prebiotics. So prebiotics are also foods that help to feed that good beneficial bacteria. So prebiotics are going to be things like onions and garlic, oats. So that's usually where I recommend starting to see if we can add some of those in the diet. Supplements, probiotic supplements can be beneficial. I usually recommend if you're wanting to try a probiotic supplement for overall gut health, I recommend picking one with at least 10 different strains, because that increases the likelihood that one of those strains can be beneficial and are maybe some of the bacteria that you're lacking.
Okay. Is that easy to find, one with that many?
Yes, so when you go to the store and you look at the supplements, you just kind of pick a couple different ones and flip them around, and they'll have kind of like a nutrient facts label. They'll have all the different bacteria inside of it listed on there. And sometimes some brands will also list their function as well and what exactly they help with.
Okay, very nice. And then just as far as the American diet, what are kind of the things that we're usually lacking that we might need to supplement?
So I think just in general, because we're mostly all inside all the time, pretty much all of us are deficient in vitamin D. So I always recommend getting, blood work done to check and see if you do have any underlying nutrient deficiencies, because your doctor or dietitian can help to suggest the appropriate dose and supplement to help with any of those deficiencies. And I also don't think there's anything wrong with just a multivitamin to kind of fill in the gaps that we are missing.
Okay, so I don't have to get too fancy.
Nothing too crazy.
Okay. What about just going back to skin? What are some common skin conditions that you see a lot that are possibly due to bad nutrition?
So I see a lot of thinning hair and kind of the hard brittle nails that I mentioned earlier. Those are very common nutrient deficiencies that I see a lot. And then I do see some patients improve their eczema and psoriasis if we're able to target any specific foods that they're having an intolerance to, or just by kind of increasing those good whole foods and anti-inflammatory foods in their diet.
Okay. Speaking of the hair, I do hear that a lot. I hear that from my clients. I know a lot of my clients are going to be middle-aged women, but I hear that a lot. My hair is falling out, it's thinning. What advice would you give that client?
Well, first and foremost, I would recommend going to your doctor to make sure that there's no underlying issues going on, because certain food intolerances and allergies can show up that way, and other autoimmune conditions can kind of present that way. So first and foremost, I'd recommend getting your blood work done to make sure there's no underlying issues going on.
We now have kind of a little list of things that we can do, what we're gonna get on our next grocery run, and we also know when we might need to partner with a dietitian or with a physician, and we definitely see clearly the link between nutrition and skin. So thank you so much again for coming today, and we definitely know where to find you if we have more questions, right?
Yes, you can find me at mindful-nutrition-counseling.com.
All right, awesome.
Thanks.